Most workouts are sold as the fountain of youth, but for seniors, a few of them might as well come with a warning label. Some moves age you faster than time ever could. Let's separate the life givers from the silent body breakers. The first exercise that's destroying senior bodies: high-impact running. Let's talk about running. Yeah, that classic go-to exercise that everyone from doctors to fitness magazines seems to swear by. And hey, I get it. It looks like the perfect way to stay fit. You throw on a pair of sneakers, hit the pavement, get that heart rate up, feel alive. But I need to be brutally honest with you here. If you're over 65, running might not be doing you any favors. In fact, it could be quietly tearing your body down. Every time your foot hits the ground, your joints are taking a hit that's about 3 times your body weight. That's not a metaphor, that's physics. And those knees, hips, and ankles, they're not made of rubber. As we age, cartilage doesn't regenerate the way it used to. So each pounding step is chipping away at your mobility. Little by little, you won't notice it at first, but by the time you do, the damage is already done. And this isn't just about joints. Let's talk heart. Our blood vessels naturally stiffen with age. So when you go from sitting on the couch to suddenly sprinting down the street, your heart is basically going into crisis mode. According to a study I read from the Journal of Cardiovascular Medicine, seniors doing intense runs can spike their blood pressure up to 200 over 100. That's stroke territory. That's not just risky, that's playing with fire. But here's the part that really made me pause. As we age, we lose something called proprioception. It's your body's internal GPS, how you know where your limbs are without looking. And once that fades, even a tiny crack in the sidewalk can become a tripwire. Falls from running are one of the most common ways seniors end up in the hospital. And unlike in your 30s, one bad fall in your 70s can change your life forever. So here's what I want you to do today. Stand on one foot. Now close your eyes, hold that for 10 seconds. Did you wobble? Did you feel unsure? If that balance isn't there, running isn't just exercise, it's a gamble, a dangerous one. Physical therapists at the Mayo Clinic are even starting to say outright that high-impact running just isn't safe for most people over 65. Look, I'm not saying give up on cardio. I'm saying pick the right kind. There are safer, smarter, joint-friendly ways to move your body and protect your heart without putting yourself at risk. The second silent destroyer, heavy weightlifting. I get why heavy weightlifting feels empowering. There's something deeply satisfying about pushing a barbell, feeling that tension, watching the numbers go up. It makes you feel like you've still got it, but what's happening inside your body? That's a whole different story, and it's not pretty. When you lift heavy after 65, your blood pressure can spike through the roof. We're talking numbers like 200 over 100 millimeters of mercury, even if you're otherwise healthy. That's not just a tough workout, that's a dangerous strain on your heart and blood vessels. The American Heart Association has shown these spikes can damage your arteries and drastically raise your stroke risk. And let's be honest, a lot of us are walking around with undiagnosed heart issues. That silent damage, it adds up fast. But this goes beyond just your heart. By the time you hit 70, your tendons and ligaments have lost up to 40% of their elasticity. That means they're way more prone to tears, ruptures, and slow healing. A small shoulder injury in your 30s might sideline you for a week. In your 70s, that same tear could limit your mobility permanently. And don't even get me started on spinal injuries. With age-related bone thinning and undiagnosed osteoporosis, lifting heavy can trigger vertebral compression fractures. These don't just hurt, they can lead to chronic pain, height loss, and even digestive problems from compressed organs. What really keeps me up at night, though, is this. By age 70, your reaction time slows by 25%. So if you lose balance mid-lift, your ability to catch yourself or drop the weight safely, it's seriously compromised. That's why emergency rooms are seeing a rise in weightlifting injuries among seniors. Your move now? Check the weight you're using. If it makes you hold your breath or strain, it's too much. Remember, this is about longevity, not ego. The third exercise trap, plyometric movements. You've probably seen those workouts online. You know, the ones promising to keep you young and energized with jump squats, burpees, or box jumps. They're flashy, they're intense, and they're often labeled as age-defying. But let's call it what it really is, a fast track to injury if you're over 65. Now, I'm not being dramatic when I say this. Falls are the #1 cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries in older adults. That's not opinion. That's a hard fact. And these high-impact explosive moves, they jack up your risk of falling by a mile. Think about it. When you land from a jump, even a tiny one, up to 7 times your body weight slams into your joints. And those joints, they've already spent decades doing their job. At some point, they start to tap out. If you've got osteopenia or osteoporosis, which a lot of seniors do without even knowing it, these kinds of impacts don't just hurt, they create microfractures. And these aren't one-and-done injuries. They build up slowly until one day, bending down to grab something leads to a snap you never saw coming. But physical pain isn't the only damage. After a major fall, 70% of seniors develop something called fear of falling syndrome. That fear leads people to move less, go out less, engage less. And that isolation, it becomes a silent killer. You lose muscle, you lose confidence, and before you know it, you're depending on others for things you used to do without a second thought. So if you're still doing burpees or any kind of jumping, stop right now. You don't need explosive movement to stay youthful. You need smart movement. And that's exactly what we're diving into next. The exercises that will build strength, protect your joints, and actually add years to your life. The first life-changing exercise, brisk walking. Brisk walking might seem too simple to matter, but it's actually one of the most powerful health moves you can make. No gym, no gadgets, just a good pair of shoes and some fresh air. A massive Harvard study following 50,000 adults over 2 decades found that seniors who walked briskly regularly slashed their risk of early death by 41%. That's not just avoiding heart problems. It's cutting down the risk of stroke, cancer, and more. Another study showed that 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week, could add 7 years to your life. Walking boosts circulation without spiking your blood pressure and helps manage conditions like diabetes. But the brain benefits are just as huge. Walking releases BDNF, a brain-boosting protein that protects against cognitive decline. Add sunshine and nature, and you've got lower cortisol, higher serotonin, and a happier you. It's simple, powerful, and right outside your door. The second essential exercise, balance training. Balance training doesn't get the spotlight, but it's hands down one of the most important things you can do to stay independent as you age. It's not flashy or trending, but it's the line between living on your own terms and ending up in a hospital bed. 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls each year, leading to over 3 million ER visits. But spending just 15 minutes a day on balance exercises can cut that risk by 37%. That's huge. And it doesn't take long to see results. Your brain and muscles start communicating better within weeks, making you more stable and confident, whether you're climbing stairs or stepping over that rogue laundry basket. Tai Chi is great, but you don't need to go full martial artist. Start simple. Stand by a sturdy chair, shift your weight from foot to foot for 30 seconds. Do it morning, noon, and night. Add in standing on one foot and walking heel to toe. These small moves train the muscles that keep you steady, so you stay strong, safe, and in control of your life. The third critical component, light strength training. This one might make your eyebrows shoot up. After age 50, your body starts quietly losing 1 to 2% of muscle mass every single year. It's called sarcopenia, and it doesn't make a big scene. No flashing lights, no warning sirens, just a slow, steady drain on your strength until one day, standing up from a chair feels like climbing a mountain. This decline isn't set in stone. In fact, it's totally reversible. The National Institute on Aging found that even people in their 90s, yes, 90s, can increase their muscle mass by up to 12% in just 3 months of light resistance training. That's not just impressive, it's life-changing. And no, we're not talking about powerlifting or CrossFit. This is about functional strength, the kind that helps you climb stairs, carry groceries, pick up the grandkids, or just move through your day without needing help. A few simple exercises go a long way. Try gentle squats to strengthen your legs or wall push-ups to keep your chest and arms in action. Your core? That's your built-in spine support. It helps with posture, breathing, and preventing back pain. The best part? It's incredibly accessible. You don't need a fancy home gym or a personal trainer. Resistance bands, light hand weights, even a couple of water bottles can get the job done. Resistance bands especially. They cost less than $20 and adjust as your strength improves. And if you've got mobility issues, no problem. Most exercises have seated versions so you can build strength without ever leaving your chair. Here's your move for tomorrow. Sit in a sturdy chair and try standing up and sitting back down 10 times without using your hands. Too tough? Use your hands lightly for balance. That one simple movement, it builds the exact strength that keeps you living independently. The exercises you choose today shape how you'll live tomorrow. Strong, steady, and independent. Replace risky moves with smart, proven ones. Walk briskly, train your balance, and build gentle strength. Your future self will thank you every single day. Subscribe now for more science-backed tips to stay active, safe, and thriving.